That's a classic example of the fall of Adam and Eve and what we learn. But, as parents, you don't want your children, right, to taste of the bitter.
Yeah.
And you certainly don't want to take the risk of them going down a path and then not coming back from it. We certainly don't want them to have to experience that. But at the same time, it almost seems like some of that has to happen for a true powerful conversion to take place to the gospel, to really appreciate the sweet. So it's such a such a contradiction, right? That you have to have that true opposition, to have that true agency, to truly be converted. But it's just a dichotomy.
Well, one of the bridges, I think, one of the things that helps kind of cover some of that, and some I wish I would have done, obviously, and we've talked about this before, but one of the benefits, I think, of the mission is that it gives these youth, and a lot of them who have grown up in the church and don't have a very broad perspective, they get to go out and experience life through other people's eyes.
Yes.
And they get to experience what life is like for people who didn't grow up the way they grew up or didn't have what they have. And it's almost like Nephi's vision that he has early on in First Nephi, where the Spirit continues to tell him, look, and is giving these experiences that within this vision, he's getting this experience through observing, through watching, through looking, and there's a lot of value in that. And it's almost like that's what the mission can be for youth today, where, you may have grown up in the church and you really don't understand, I'm not saying everyone that grows up in the church has all these wonderful things, but a lot of people, their parents are doing fine. They're doing okay. Poverty is, at least in the States, and a lot of the Western world, is under control. They don't have to worry about what they're going to eat from day to day or moment to moment. Like, they have a pretty good, comfortable life. Yeah. And then a lot of times they go out on these missions and they start to see people through either no choices of their own or sometimes self-inflicted choices. They get to see what can happen when you don't have those teachings. You don't have that foundation. And through that observation, they can start to say, I can at least observe now the bitter. And hopefully they don't actually partake of that themselves, but they can observe and receive a knowledge and a witness of what it means to live the gospel standards and to live the doctrine and the blessings of doing so. Hit that like button, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it.
They may seem like little things, but liking, commenting, it helps the algorithm push our content out to more people. So it's our small way of sharing the gospel in a social media age.